Hello everyone, Darren here, and welcome to the 18th installment of the Map Awareness series. Today we have a replay submitted by Pontiac Pat. Now, yes, you see low tier gameplay, but I would like to mention, and I do this sometimes, obviously you won't see it on camera, but I do tend to play low tiers occasionally as a way to keep my skill refreshed and keep me kind of training my mind to keep my head constantly on a swivel because of the chaos of low tier gameplay. Now, Pontiac Pat here is in the Father Frost on Himmelsdorf here, and I think we all know that at this point in the game, at low tiers, you will encounter some bots, and you will encounter just generally players that just honestly don't care, and they're just gonna YOLO, and strategy doesn't really exist. But there are many lessons for you to actually learn from both mistakes that may have been made by Pontiac Pat's team, things Pontiac Pat did, and even mistakes made by the enemy team. So we're in for a little bit of an action-packed lesson for the most part of this video. So as you can see, we are already seeing, at least by the green team, that obviously chaos has ensued. And really, Pontiac made a good decision from originally just farming early tanks to decide to try and YOLO out in the middle, or take those early little building rubble spots that, you know, most of the time make them very easy targets to just sit and hit, because, you know, most people at these tiers are either bots or just really frankly don't care about tactics or strategy. So, but seeing that, you know, two clustered together, not a whole lot of support on some flanks, or just not a whole lot of support actually supporting, he decided to shift positions away from the middle and start whittling away on the flanks. You can see by the enemy team that they have already managed to get some enemy tanks down the railroad tracks, hence why Pat moved over here to prevent a large push, to swing down the tracks and get behind the team. Really, to me, what I noticed that was probably a good thing to do, especially here at lower tiers, is there were two tanks that went down the tracks. No one was bothering to stop them. Pontiac knew about them, but didn't go and actively try and stop them himself. Why? Because two tanks versus one, for the most part, probably you are going to lose that fight if you're the single tank versus the other two. Even at low tiers here, you don't know if they're just spamming premium for the lulz, or, you know, what may happen. They may both just YOLO rush you, and then at that point there's nothing you can do. So it was a smart decision, actually letting the team actually realize there's people there and address the issues, and then also coming to assist. And as you can see, pretty much both main flanks were taken really by the enemy team, and they fell, and Pontiac had to come back and help defend the base, as there were enemies coming from the other side of the map towards the base. Now this is another smart move, is that in the fury of battle, you know, you tend to lose track of who got taken out, who died, and where everyone is at. So this was another smart move by Pontiac to actually go back there and check to make sure no one was hiding back there. Always something you want to do. You always want to make sure that the area is absolutely clear before you just abandon a position. I've done that sometimes where I thought it was clear. Lo and behold, there's a sneaky TD or a scout tank hiding in the bushes just out of sight, and I'm unable to detect him, and he starts shooting me in the butt. At this point now, as you can see, it was almost a Kolobanov's opportunity, but the heavy tank on his team decided that he was going to go down fighting, which is not a big deal. But, you know, essentially, by the time he didn't die before he got to take care of the artillery. Now, you can see another thing. What Pontiac also did here in this craziness of just running around is that to try and avoid getting hit and to make the target easier, he pretty much tapped I think that was the key knee. I don't know if it was the premium or the tech tree version, to try and track him, and then also swinging around him to try and force the vehicle to rotate its turret, or just its turret, to try and, you know, stay out of the gun and get an easy shot. Didn't really work that well. But honestly, the action's going so fast, as in with these low tiers, that it's hard for me to actually cover the topics as they are happening. So this time, though, he's making the right move of moving now at this point. Constantly staying on the move. You don't want to try and play the game of Ring Around the Rosie, if you are familiar with what that game is. And instead, he's trying to take a route that is very much a random one, trying to take the long way around, trying to find out if he can spot any vehicles from a direction that they are not expecting him to come in, which is, again, a smart move here. Now, you're going to see here that this is going to be a mistake by the enemy team here. Now, some could argue this is a tactical decision. Some could argue this is a mistake. In this case, for me, I feel like it's both a mistake and both a tactic. The tactic in the sense that you can try and draw this last remaining tank, in the case of this Pontiac here, draw him into the throes of trying to, draw him out, get him to face and try and stop the cap. But it's also lets Pontiac know that there is an enemy. He knows where you are now. Which, if, let's say, the one teammate that is on your team is AFK and it's just you, it's not a good idea to give your position away in that case. And of course, I just kind of, spoiler alert, this last vehicle is AFK here, so this gives me some breathing room to actually, summarize everything. But as you can see, very action-packed, very chaotic, not a whole lot of tactics or team play, and flanks fell very quickly or were just downright ignored. And Pontiac did a good job compensating for that chaos and the lack of situational awareness that his team may have had. And he managed to clean it up very nicely. And at this point here, I believe that this game was a very well-deserved result. Of course, the damage is really nothing to, brag about. And of course, the kills, 8 kills, I think is a pretty nice result for this. He also stated that he mastered this game, the Father Frost. But overall, a very nice game and a very good demonstration of mistakes and, good things, and from both his team, Pontiac himself, and also the enemy team. But again, a very good demonstration of how just low tiers can help train your mind and keep your head alert and on your toes, and that can translate to larger games. But that's it for this episode. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy.